The philosopher William James had this idea that our perception of the world is basically just a reflection of our thoughts. So it follows that if we want to change our lives, we have to start by changing and getting control of our thoughts. But that raises a pretty huge question.
I mean, really stop and think about that. How many of your day-to-day decisions, your little cravings, your knee-jerk reactions, are they truly your own? Are you the one steering the ship, or someone or something else at the helm? Okay, let's dive into this, because the answer is pretty surprising.
It almost always feels like we're in charge, right? But so much of what we do is actually dictated by these hidden forces we don't even notice. Think of them as unseen puppeteers, pulling our strings every single day.
Now, the first, and maybe the most powerful puppeteer, is our own brain. But I'm not talking about the logical, modern part. I'm talking about the ancient primal core. We are basically running on software that was programmed for a world that doesn't exist anymore. And that mismatch, well, it creates some serious problems for us.
So let's really unpack what this ancient programming is all about. These are the instincts and the drives that helped our ancestors survive everything from saber-toothed tigers to brutal famines. But today, in our world, they often just lead us completely astray.
Take a look at these. These drives were once absolutely critical for survival. That intense craving for salt, that wasn't about making food taste good. Salt was a rare mineral needed to preserve food. Storing fat, 100% essential when you had no idea where your next meal was coming from. Hoarding stuff, a total lifesaver. The issue is today, these same exact instincts can lead to major health problems and just endless overconsumption.
And here's a fantastic story that reveals another one of these ancient drives, our powerful instinct for novelty. So the story goes that President Coolidge and his wife were touring a farm. Mrs. Coolidge saw a rooster that was, let's say, very active with the hens, and she joked, "You might tell that to the president." A little later, the president asked the guide if the rooster was with the same hen every time. The guy said, "Oh, no, sir, a different one each time." The president shot back, "You tell that to Mrs. Coolidge." And that little anecdote perfectly captures what scientists now call the Coolidge effect, an evolutionary impulse for variety that's hardwired deep inside us.
And this really gets to the heart of the conflict between our ancient wants and our modern needs. Our brain is screaming for more salt, more sugar, more novelty. But what we actually need for good life today is balance and moderation and conscious choice. It's so important to learn how to tell the difference between an ancient impulse and a genuine modern need.
But here's the thing. It's not just our own brain we're up against. The modern world has figured out exactly how to exploit that ancient programming. Our minds are being hijacked every single day.
Just look at this number, 75%. That's the estimated percentage of American adults who are overweight. Our ancient drive to store fat was a survival mechanism, but in a world with a fast food joint on every corner, it's created a massive health crisis. Our environment is practically designed to exploit our evolutionary weak spots.
And the consequences aren't just physical. The nonstop stimulation and pressure of modern life are taking a huge toll on our mental health. I mean, these statistics are just staggering. We live in an age with more material comfort than ever before, yet we are also experiencing this profound crisis of the mind.
And here they are. These are the modern-day hijackers of our attention. Every single one of them is engineered to trigger our ancient brain's desire for novelty, for threat, for reward. They are designed to keep us in a constant state of agitated distraction, making it almost impossible to ever feel calm or truly focused.
All this constant stimulation creates something you can call junk values. Just like junk food gives you empty calories for your body, this steady diet of sensational news, social media envy, and endless ads creates these artificial desires that just clutter up our minds. It makes it nearly impossible to figure out what we truly value.
And the crazy paradox here is that the very tools that were designed to connect us often do the exact opposite. Study after study shows this vicious cycle. The more we use these platforms to try and feel connected, the more isolated we end up feeling, which, of course, just drives us right back to the platforms for another hit. It's a trap.
Okay, so this might all sound a bit bleak. I get it. We're fighting our own ancient brain and a modern world that's designed to exploit it. But there is a way forward. There is a practical and really powerful way to start reclaiming control.
So we come full circle, right back to where we started. The real power isn't in changing the world outside of you, it's in mastering the world inside you. The first and by far the most important step is to learn how to manage your own mind.
And the most time-tested tool for doing this is meditation. Now, this isn't about religion or some strange ritual. Think of it as a practical mental exercise, a workout for your brain, to train your attention and awareness, just like you'd go to the gym to train a muscle.
And getting started is way simpler than you probably think. You don't need to dedicate hours a day. All it takes is a small, consistent commitment. The practice itself is incredibly straightforward. Just sit quietly and bring your attention over and over again to the physical sensation of your breath. That's it. That's the training.
So what are you training for? You're training for a fundamental shift from living an emotional life to a conscious life. You're moving from being reactive and chaotic, which is the default mode for most of us, to being deliberate, calm, and guided by your own internal choices. It's really the difference between being the puppet and becoming the puppeteer.
And this is the profound result of that training. When a nun was asked what she learned after decades of meditating, her answer was amazing. She said she learned not to automatically believe everything she thinks. She could just see her thoughts for what they are, just thoughts, not undeniable truths.
And that, right there, is the ultimate prize. The goal isn't to stop your thoughts or to empty your mind. It's to create a little gap, a moment of space between something happening and your reaction to it. And in that tiny space lies your freedom. The freedom to choose how you respond, instead of letting your ancient programming or those external hijackers make the choice for you.
So, the power is really in your hands. Just like you choose what food to put in your body, you can choose what information and what influences you feed your mind. So, I'll just leave you with this question. Knowing all of this now, what inputs are you going to choose for your mind today?